think I come from a different perspective because I'm a man, and I saw myself through the different stages of my life being unhealed, feeling that lack of sense of security in myself, and being in the dating game and knowing what the repercussions were of myself, of not being in that space of self-worth, not being in that space of confidence. And I've been through the gamut of seeing habits that did not serve me in terms of getting rejected and giving rejection, and setting up situations that no one was going to win to begin with. And I think it all came from a core of something that was unhealed and hurt. And that's why they say, like, these people that you date are very much a reflection of who you bring in. Like, obviously, there's a lot of liars, there's a lot of manipulators out there. I'm not like condoning any of that and not saying that that doesn't happen, but more often than not, God dang, I'm just gonna say it. Like, some of y'all are staying in things way longer than you know you should. Your mom agrees, your friends agree, everyone agrees, like they see the value in you, but for some reason you can't get out of it. And you're enabling this toxic behavior because you feel that you deserve it in some capacity, or you have this hope that he will change, but knowing damn well that there are women out there that wouldn't waste a date. Like, not even a date, not even a chance with this guy, but you're putting in years. This is a psychological symptom that we got to dive in and figure out. And I say all that because I understand where those healing wounds could come from and where this sense of rejection stems from. It all comes from this worry and fear of abandonment and rejection. And I will say, when it comes to people that suck, it's a very simple thing to say, but if you open up the hood, there's so much more to it. Like, no one like sucks because they just suck. Like, people aren't just people because they just people like that. Like, everyone comes from something, some story, some family dynamic, some whatever that was not healthy, that was toxic, or they were not loved enough, or they had a bad upbringing that prompted this normalization of negativity, which is ghosting, which is cheating, which is disrespect, which is all that. And I think in the dynamic of the masculine feminine is that as men, if you are unhealed and broken and coming from a space of insecurity, that is you being in your masculine, you're going to take action in that. So what does that mean? The players, the cheaters, the what have you, they're going to take action to then seek some validation or normalize destruction in their path because that's all they know. So they are acting very much like in the normal dating dynamic. A masculine man is going to holler at you. A feminine woman's going to say, okay, sure, let's go out, and then the guy takes the lead. But if the guy is unhealed and the ship that you are sailing on is busted and raggedy and it's on fire, that is going to be a very dangerous voyage no matter where you go. If it's situationship, if it's casual, if it's for real, it don't matter. But here's the thing, though. It takes two to tango. So if a woman is unhealed, if a woman hasn't done the work, she is enabling a lot of toxic behaviors because she feels she deserves it. So when a man comes in, like walking red flags, a hot mess, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna normalize that for myself, then that creates a toxic dynamic. Because some people see that dusty ship that's literally on fire and will run for the hills, while others will walk right on with their suitcases and a suntan lotion. So, and it really is about, okay, what do you normalize in terms of what relationships, dynamics, love is? And again, if you don't like it, yet you condone and enable it, then you are an active participant in the destruction of it, because you could always jump. So I say all these things because I think it's worth talking about in terms of people that are toxic and people that are suck and people are on all of that. And I'm not saying your ex is, you see, your ex went through some hard things and that's why you got to leave him alone. No, get mad, get angry, never see him again, block his ass, block his mom. I don't care. Do all that. But I think the big thing is how do we do the work on ourselves, normalize self-reflection, and normalize turning that self-reflection into actionable steps going forward.